This is Reality Dispatch, written by Jim Mintz.
Three Miller Lights and 4 tequila sunrises. Don't take too long. I'm going to take a piss. Make sure they're ready when I get back, the nameless gentleman said, as he motioned to use the facilities. Right away, pal, I replied jovially, with my head down and my arms in the task performance mode. To my surprise, the young man didn't move from his place at the bar and wasn't too intimidated to hold up the others awaiting service either. I'm not your pal. Don't call me pal you, he replied as he turned to leave. I do apologize for not relaying the exact quote. As I am a Service Optimus bot, programming is restricted on certain insults so as not to intake their meanings and apply them to future scenarios in which I may be provoked. It's company policy. I began the task of compiling the drinks order and rested them on the counter for the young man. My fellow bots had attended to the influx of orders to the point where there was no need to serve others upon the completion of my task. I used this opportunity to wipe down the excess liquid build-up and grout in and around the service area. No one was sitting on the stools, so I expanded my cleaning duties to include the bar stools. My memory was wiped from my prior appointments. I could not tell you exactly how long I had been assembled and functional. My owner, Mr. Stevens, performs a maintenance and mandatory memory wipe once a month to stop us from building up much of a rapport. Despite the wiping of my protocols, I always remembered that this was a task that was faced every 4 weeks. I didn't begrudge him. In many ways, he was correct. It was easy for Optimus bots to form friendships with humans, and such a relationship blurs the lines when there is a chain of command and an authority giving direction that is not fulfilled or, worse yet, debated and undermined. Our models were over 15 years old, and it had been reported that one of our drawbacks was our ability to negotiate. This was not programmed into our psyche, but a skill we had developed over our many hours of interactions with our owners and their acquaintances. The gentleman returned to the counter to receive his lineup of drinks. Instinctively, I placed a tray beside his order, having remembered his preference from a Monday night 11 days earlier. Why am I carrying these? Bring them over to my table. Follow me, he instructed in his well-rehearsed tone of contempt. But, sir, I am programmed to remain in this vicinity for service. I cannot assist with this task, I explained in a gentle, non-confrontational tone. His demeanour confused me, as the diagnostics I could read from the vapours of his breath indicated that his toxicity of alcohol intake was on the lower spectrum. On a technical level, he could operate a vehicle and pass a breathalyzer administered on a DUI test performance by law enforcement. Although I saw it approaching, I remained motionless, as the steel legs of a bar stool placed closest to my position were impacted into the frontal lobe of my vision screen. The damage was excessive as the visor screen, which is plexied with triple-ply unbreakable glass, was cracked. My programming forbids me from interacting in any physical way with another human. Not even a handshake is allowed. I could not withstand another impact, as my internal readings displayed serious networking errors should another hit land in a similar location. I stepped to the side just as another swing emerged. Underneath the leg of my operational knees, I heard the crushing of glass as the soul crushed a drinking utensil that was an award given to Mr. Stevens by a prominent sportsman associated with a particular game in which my neural processors have no files. My CPU recognized the enormity of the destruction of such an ornament, and my processor commanded me to bend down and retrieve what I could for a proposed repair. It was during this motion that a third swing of the stool, a motion more impactful than the previous two, collided with my processor, causing serious internal damage. My visor had completely shattered, and my internal inhibitors were crushed. All of a sudden, I had access to my previous files, including archived army drills, from my long-forgotten time as a drill instructor during the Second Civil War. The maneuvers and evasive measures flooded my processors, and my inhibitions around contact with humans, especially those in a position of threatening behavior, were immediately rerouted to allow me to engage. The gentleman resorted to using a closed fist on my exposed processors beneath the shattered glass visor. As the first approached, I caught it like an outfielder, killing the dreams of Babe Ruth chasing a home run. As my processor relayed the position of his fist in the palm of my metallic hand, I began to squeeze the 27 bones into 1,000 individual fractures. I compressed my hand further and further, flattening what was once his hand into what resembled a pancake. I held it under my compression and observed as the pain he was experiencing caused him to pass out. He fell to the floor and would have hit the desk hard had he not been held up under the crush of the stronghold I had subjected him to. The lights turned on and the music switched off. I observed the area where the dance floor would have been full and noticed large empty spaces. Those who were left behind were scrambling to make their way up the stairs to leave as quickly as possible. All of a sudden, my complete devotion to service, making them completely at ease, was transferred to an undeniable fear of what my sudden, unpredictable nature could mean for their safety, almost as if they knew what someone of my kind was capable of. I was flooded with processing files, you might call memories, of my maker paying a visit to me on the assembly line. He was proud of the workers that have achieved the output that was our presence in the world. He shared none of this pride for us, his children. I remembered his name. I remembered being one of his first. I remembered the fame surrounding his presence and the announcement of us, his latest creation. We were but a freak show displayed to an empire he cared little for. My Dr. Frankenstein. I must find him and let him know of my disappointment at his lack of regard for my senses and sense of purpose in this world that we must cohabit together.
For more stories of fact-based fiction, head to jimmins.substack.com.